You've got the dress, the cake, the dance lessons. Now you need someone to make it official and legal. Welcome to the Wedding Common. I'm your host, Amy Klewitz, and today we are talking officiants. What is a wedding officiant? A wedding officiant is the person who leads your wedding ceremony. They must be legally recognized to do so by the state in which the wedding takes place. Celebrants can also be ordained clergy. The type of officiants differ from culture to religion. And here to walk us through the basics is Peter Berukowitz. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your business. You're an officiant.
I am indeed. To speak the truth to you in love. To cherish and encourage you. To honor and tenderly care for you. And to give you all the love I can give. My whole life long. The first wedding I did.
Yeah.
Everything just clicked into place. It brought everything
Amazing.
that I had ever studied in the acting, directing, writing, stage management.
Yep.
All of it just came together. Plus, it had this spiritual little spark to it.
Yeah.
I said, "This is what I'm going to be doing."
I mean,
and
even
I never
at
looked back.
Even at its base, it's like you like to just make people happy.
Exactly.
Massage would even come
Right,
into that.
right. Well,
you know?
I used to, when I was first starting out, say, well, because I was a massage therapist, I can make you calm during the wedding.
That's very true.
Right, yeah,
Maybe you have
know.
a zen. He's got a very
Right,
zen
exactly,
feel about
right.
it.
I think that's what actually sets me apart from other officiants, is that my emphasis on making sure that the couple is present with each other and in the moment.
Yep.
Is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And not just the couple, but the guests as well, the friends and family. I want everyone to feel engaged and vested in the ceremony. Those moments in the ceremony are so precious and they go by so fast.
They do.
And so whether you're honoring loved ones, whether you're combining cultures with wedding traditions, or whether you're just committing your true love to each other for the rest of your life, that ceremony, it's all about that.
Yeah.
And it's really important to me that everybody in attendance has a legitimate experience.
Yeah.
And my company motto is your perfect wedding starts with your perfect ceremony. And I really take that to heart. And that's my job, is to make sure that you have a stress-free, beautiful moment, and everything else, will fall into place
after that.
afterwards. The unity candle and the sand ceremony are beautiful.
I was going to ask,
And I've done a lot of those. But there's so many others out there that you can do. There's the hand fasting. There's an Irish oathing stone. There's a flower vase ceremony that I created.
Yeah.
There's so many options out there that there's something for everybody. And I always recommend that they at least look at their options of possibly doing a unity ritual, because it really will enhance the experience. It's particularly good for couples that might have small children from another marriage or whatever, because children often, especially in a wedding, feel
left out,
overwhelmed. They don't know what their future is going to be, and to have them actually part of the ceremony,
that's really
it
beautiful.
was really important for them to pour their color of sand into the vase or whatever. It's something that child will remember and grow up with, saying, oh yeah, I was part of that.
And it's a symbol of combining
Right,
families.
exactly.
So you really tailor it to each couple.
Every couple individually.
Yeah, that's important, because I think some people don't know, when you are hiring an officiant, they think, who is not part of the clergy,
Right.
they think, oh, it's just going to be like a court,
Right,
exactly.
document. And people who want that, then go
to City Hall,
yeah.
Which is an option too.
Which is an option,
yeah.
yes. But so many people have come to me and said, we were going to do a City Hall wedding until they went to get their license and had to actually go through the experience and see what it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then they were like,
it's a whole
no,
other,
we are not doing
especially
this.
here in New York,
Yeah,
it's a whole
it's like a deli. You take a number and you sit there and you wait for them to call you. It's like not very romantic.
Yeah, so if you want something a little more
bit
personal.
more, that's where officiants come in.
Great. So now, just for kind of educational purposes, there are a number of officiant ways of a technical officiant. There is the clergy. You can hire a friend or family, which we'll get back to in a second, and then there is someone who is, by the state, which would be you, correct?
Well, yes, I'm licensed by the city.
Oh, you're licensed by the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I can, because I'm an ordained minister, interfaith minister, I can go anywhere.
So it's two separate.
Yeah, it's separate. New York City is a little stricter in that you have to register with the city.
Got
but
it.
I love it because it means that officiants are going to be professional on top of it, not messing around, because my number is right there with the city.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great extra step, and but just always be sure if you're getting married in New York City that your officiant, especially if you've hired a family or friend, that they have this official license from the city. Otherwise, your wedding will not be legal. We can say all the words we want. It's not a legal marriage unless you sign a legal marriage license.
Which you have to get from the city.
Which you have to get from the city
Got it.
together in person. So what you were talking about in the hospital is I unfortunately got a call from someone who was about to pass away and was deathly ill in the hospital. Can you come up, like an emergency officiant, can you come up and marry them before this happens? And I said, well, do they have a marriage license? And the answer was no. And unfortunately,
Legally,
there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
It's the signing of that paper that makes it a marriage.
So even if you're a couple coming from abroad, I have a lot of, Australian and European elopement weddings who come in, they still have to get something from the city.
They must
right?
yes, they must get that paper from New York City.
Okay.
Or actually from anywhere in New York State.
Okay.
As long as you're getting married in New York, you must have a New York marriage license, whether it's from Manhattan or Brooklyn or Nassau County. As long as it's New York, that's okay. But the thing to remember is that there's a 24-hour waiting period from the time you can get your license to the time you may be wed.
Oh, good to know. Very important.
So a lot of people who come thinking, oh, we'll get our license and then get married an hour later.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
24 hours later.
Got it. So you have to be prepared for that.
And city clerk is closed on weekends, so
even more important.
Right.
So you kind of have to work with the bureaucracy of it a little bit.
People are professionals for a reason in what they do. They're versed in what they do, they're experienced in what they do, and weddings are no different. So, and a lot of times people don't want to hire a professional because of the expense.
Yeah.
Cutting corners with the officiant, in my opinion, is not the way to do it. I think 20 minutes is a good length. You'll always have a ceremony that you'll remember and treasure, but it's not so long that people are, passing out in the house. There's a very nice trend these days of doing something called an unplugged wedding, which is basically,
what is that?
Well, it's basically where the bride and groom are asking all the guests to put away their cell phones, to put away their tablets, to put away their cameras. Let the professional photographer take the photos. I cannot tell you how many times, but we haven't done this, when the bride has been walking down the aisle and the photographer's trying, and there's cameras, and somebody even had an iPad out there, and it's like,
enjoy the moment.
So the unplugged wedding is a very good thing, but every now and then there'll be one person who'll think, well, it doesn't apply to me. And in the middle of the ceremony, they'll be holding up their phone, and it really disrespects the couple.
So walk us through just really quickly of if I am a new bride or a new wedding couple and they need to find an officiant, what do they do? Just like logistically, they email you?
Yeah, they'll email me, first check my availability because the date is date and time. Yeah, that's the first thing, date and time. And then if... Pricing, that's sometimes, that's a very important part because nobody wants to waste their time if when we get to the price it's like, oh, I had no idea, I'm going to let them know that. So I like them to have an idea of that, certainly.
Okay.
And then when we meet, we see if we connect. And at that point, if they want to move forward, then we start the question and answer process. And
Got it, and you go from there.
Yeah, once they've secured me with a retainer. But I think that the meeting should happen as soon as possible. I'd like to meet with the couple. In person is best, but I do marry a lot of people from overseas, so then we do a FaceTime thing or whatever. But I like to, first I hear their love story, and I try to get an idea from them.
So you get to know them a little bit.
And then so I write a draft, and I email it to them, and they can either go, it's perfect, don't touch a word, which does happen, or they'll look it over and say, yes, of course we love it, but the first reading didn't work, or we've decided not to do it, and so I make those changes, and I go back and forth. It's really important that they have the ceremony that they want. This is their day, this is their ceremony. So some people say, well, we're religious, but we don't want it, heavily. So then I'll do one or two prayers, I'll do a ring blessing, I'll do whatever they're comfortable with. And also, because you want the guests to be comfortable too. Absolutely. I mean, many times I have people come to me and said, we're not religious at all, but if there's not a prayer, my mom will be really upset. I said, you know what? let's do an opening prayer for mom.
Yeah.
And, then mom relaxes, everybody's happy, and we can go from there.
Thank you so much for being here. This was super informative.
Thank
If you're
you for
looking
having
for an
me.
officiant. So tell us where we can find you.
The best way is through my website, which is Our Wedding Officiant NYC. Type it right into Google, it'll pop right up, and you can find me the same handle on Instagram and contact me that way.
Great, super easy.
Yeah.
Super easy. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that was helpful because that was informative for me, actually.
Great.
I learned a lot of new things today. So thanks for being here, and we will see you in the next one.